Another video back to back. I know, right? You're putting so much fucking time into just teaching you guys and helping you without asking for anything in return. I'm so grateful for you. You're such a nice person. But anyways, I wanted to make this video and actually completely break down my actual origin story because I've had a very interesting childhood. Okay. You guys know that I was an athlete, I was a swimmer. You guys know that I went to college for a year. You guys know how I started my business. You guys know fucking almost everything. But what I haven't talked about is a big thing of my childhood. And before I dive into the story, I want to talk about something that truly is the most powerful thing, which is your base anger or your base sadness, or those things that you've probably experienced in the childhood that have probably been traumatic, is actually what creates these raw motivations and desires. Like, there's a reason you want to be rich. There's a reason you have this insane calling inside where you're like, shit, I'm not enough, I want to do more. And there's a reason all of these things are asking it, and those reasons are typically from your childhood and your trauma. And the reason I'm making this video is about my childhood because I probably mentioned this earlier that my parents are divorced, but it wasn't a normal divorce. It was actually a very weird one. And like you guys know me, I'm an open book. I'm gonna be open and honest about where I come from. I mean, this is my fucking story. So I've had some people say, "Oh, you should not reveal such matters and things like that." But at the end of the day, I realized, this is what has made me. Like, this is what I have gone through as a child, and this is literally what has made me as an 11, 12 year old that is now standing here. So it'd be unfair for me to not share where this is coming from. Who am I? Where am I coming from? How did this all happen? And I was thinking about it, and I realized, like, the divorce was definitely the first domino chip, literally, because obviously it happened at a young age. So my parents, they've been separated a lot of times before that, but then yeah, it was like once finally it was it, and it was like when I was in sixth or seventh grade. I don't really have that much memory also of it, but the main issue is that they decided to separate, but then they didn't actually get a divorce. So to this day, they're not actually like divorced. And I was in a situation where every single time it was like, okay, they are fighting and they're doing their own thing, and me and my brother especially, like, we sort of dragged into it as children. And moral of the story is I pretty much grew up in a child or a house where the children had to be behave like adults. And now I have a very great relationship with my father, but it wasn't always like that back then, because also I wanted to do my own thing, and my parents wanted me to do something else. So I was thinking about this a lot, and also why it applies to a lot of you guys, because you guys are young and probably gonna have to do college, which is fine. And I know your parents have set down the spot on you and these expectations of you, but I need you to realize that it's not really in your control what their expectations are of you. Okay, it's their life versus your life, and they obviously want the best for you. They want the good for you, but in the end of the day, you're an adult. As soon as you turn 18, you're an adult. And I promise you, the most empowering thing is being able to stand on your own two feet and critically think, and also get yourself out of shitty situations on your own, because you realize that no one's coming to save you. And I think I realized that at a very young age as a kid itself. I grew up in India, and I have rich parents. I also have a lot of friends that have rich parents, and they were pretty much spoon fed as I was growing up. For me, it was me. I had to literally wake up on my own, like with my own alarms at 5 a.m. Wake up my dad so then he can take me to practice, and after that, coordinate my own thing to like go to school, and then fucking manage my food and all those things. As an athlete, you have to like eat a lot of food. Especially me, I was a distance freestyler, so I had to like fucking calorie load like a lot. So it was a big thing, and I had to balance all this when I had seen all my other friends, just get spoon fed by their mothers. That's a normal Indian thing, they're literally spoon fed. They're coordinating their schedules, they're coordinating their day to day. Yeah, this is the class that you have to go to. They don't even know what, like, in that time they didn't even know this is where I have to go at this time, this that. Like, it would just be your mom will just take you. And I didn't get that opportunity. Now, my mother, I'm not really in touch with at all, and I plan to keep it that way. There's a lot of personal reasons for that I won't get into here, but pretty much, I grew up as my own adult at a young age, and I think that truly made me a very responsible person, especially with my schedule of just going to swimming and then just doing a lot more, like a lot more. That really created me. But moral of the story is that you cannot always live in your parents' shadows, okay? And you also need to realize sometimes parents, they are adults, they're humans. In the end of the day, they probably don't know what the fuck they're saying too. They can be great parents, they can want the best for you, but they still probably don't know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? They're still humans in the end of the day. And the true cost and the true price of wanting to do great things is that only you can see the vision. And there'll be other entrepreneur fellows that do see the same vision because they have their own vision. But it's really like you versus the rest of the world. And the reason is that, look, if you have this one vision in your head that nobody else can really like relate to in the spot in the start, especially because that's when you have seen no success, that's when you've seen no motion, nobody can really like see anything, so they're not going to think, oh, you're destined for this. But you can see that, and that is isolating. That's the true price, and I had that for years. When I first started my business, I it was just me who saw it, really. And that's a fucking huge price because it's lonely. It's very lonely, okay? And especially with your parents, they're not going to be able to see it as well, because they have set down this path for you. And you're young, you want to do your own thing. You should stand on your 2 feet. Be selfish in order to be selfless. Learn that art, because in my head, when I started, I knew I was defying what my father wanted for me. I literally knew that, but I was still in the idea of being selfish in order to be selfless. Like, you have to find that balance, because you still want the best for your parents. I love my father, I love him, and I will do anything it is for him, okay? But at the end of the day, anything isn't gonna sacrifice on my life, my goals. Like, you're an adult, okay? You're an adult. If you have someone telling you where you should be, when and where and what you should be doing as an adult, how the hell are you gonna step into the real world and take care of yourself that time? How the fuck are you gonna do that? There's a fine line, because I don't want it to come off across as a message of be disrespectful to your parents and be don't listen to them and all of those things. But it's really a fine line. It's really a scale, and it depends. And then growing up, obviously there's a belief of your parents are the entire world, and they have these expectations, and most of the beliefs, the values that you learn are from them. And then growing up, you're going to be taught to listen to your parents, obey your elders, and all these things. But look, sometimes parents aren't good parents. Sometimes parents are just not fucking good parents. My parents, in my opinion, especially my mother, was not a good mother after she left. Like, I didn't have that opportunity. So I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, I had the best parents and that they are idols and then like worldly figures that I'm just gonna like listen to. Like, I'm sorry, that wasn't my life. That wasn't my experience, at least. So, you know, sometimes truly, like, I'm making this video because for me it's very isolating. For me it was very lonely. It was very painful for being able to like not have that sort of figure. And I had a very good father figure as well. But I realized as well, everything that my dad wanted me to be, I'm not. But then I kind of like became even bigger, and it's because I knew what I wanted. Okay, you have to obviously like take that into consideration. And look, the thing is, your parents, they want the best for you, but in the end of the day, it's your fucking life. It's as simple as that. And what I've also realized is that I was trying to get away from all these things that my father was trying to put on me, but that in turn created me, and he's created me. It's kind of like how Alex Hormozy has explained it with his own father. Like, uh, that own calling, it kind of comes from the bringing of your parents, like how they raise you. That calling starts coming in within from you, and it's sort of like they created you unexpectedly. And oh, how do I put this? So, okay, let's put it like this, okay? um they are going to put these values, and they're going to put these sort of mental models on you, and you're going to actually resist to that, and then you're going to like be like, okay, I want to do my own thing, I want to go do this, that, and you actually go and do it. And in turn, it's like, okay, and when you're doing that, you're like, shit, like my father was so wrong here, my parents don't know what the fuck they're saying. But then in turn, that creates you. So in turn, it's actually like credit to them, if that makes sense, even if it wasn't intentional. So, anyways, like, you should just be grateful of that as well, even though they don't listen to you or they don't understand your calling and your vision. And the hard truth that you have to accept is that you're an adult, and you just have to man the fuck up and do the work. Do the work, show the results, and then come back to them and be like, no, I'm not gonna do this thing now for you guys. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do my thing. And show that. It was for me like that, okay? Until I actually did the thing, like, and I actually showed the results, my dad was not accepting of my life path. Okay, he was not. But now he's more proud. Like, he's surprised. Everybody's fucking surprised. People keep asking me this, like, how the fuck did you know? Like, did you actually know you were gonna do this? Like, how do you know? And I was saying, like, how did you not know? Like, how could you not see it? I saw this in my head years ago. How could you not see it? And how do you not understand? Like, how do you not understand? For me to get here, I had to see it. Without seeing it, I wouldn't be here. And people don't get that, and that's another big price you have to like pay. That's another big fucking price you have to pay as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to be exceptional. Because nobody's gonna fucking understand it. Nobody's gonna fucking understand it. And that is the vision. That is your vision. That is your calling. You don't need everybody's approval. You just need your own. You need your own fucking vision. You need your own fucking confidence that you can stand on your 2 feet, and that even if anybody cannot see it, you will work your fucking ass off for months and months and months on end without seeing anything, because you know you are gonna fucking man up and you're gonna make it work. It all boils down to just that, making it fucking work. Even if nobody believes in it. In fact, they shouldn't. That's the best sign. If nobody's really believing in that, it means you are onto something great. It's like Hormozi says it. You are, by extension, an exception. If you want to be exceptional, you have to be an exception. You have to see things in a certain way that not a lot of people will want to see it. And that's what the gurus won't tell you. They won't tell you that. They will show you the flashy stuff because that's obviously attracting. They won't tell you the cost, the mental cost that comes with it. I'm not just talking about the fucking work. I'm talking about those thoughts, those fucking isolating thoughts, those lonely thoughts. Like, how can you not see it when you're the only one who can see it? That's a fucking price to pay, okay? And it's really like when you start absorbing all these things and you start embracing them and you actually start seeing results, it's like, how do other people not get it? Like, how could they not see it? And that is it. Like, that is why you are the exception. So what I also realize is, like, fuck them. Like, fuck them. Like, who are they? Who are they to tell you how to live your life? Not just talking about your parents, I'm talking about anybody. Like, you can see it. They cannot see it. It's your life. They don't know what the fuck they're saying anyways. So you might as well just say what you want to say and do what you want to do. Tomorrow, if you died, you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. That is possible. And do you want today to go as the day where you didn't live to your truth and didn't live to what you actually wanted to do? Do you think if you died tomorrow, you could confidently say that, yes, I am still fine with that outcome because I lived my last day to my truth, to the thing that I wanted to do? Because I promise you, that is the best flex that you can have in your life. Simply saying, I lived my day to the last day. And that comes by finding purpose. That comes by finding something big enough that not a lot of people can see and only you can see. Finding that purpose and then striving to that. My days are fucking long. And even if I died the next day, I can confidently say that I lived my day to the last. Even though that last day was fucking painful. It was just fucking work. But I can still say that. Doesn't have to be you sitting on a fucking beach in Bali. Doesn't have to be that. Okay? It doesn't have to be that. And the one thing that you can also give away from that to all your loved ones, your parents, your friends, your family members, is the fact that, okay, if you get hit by a bus tomorrow, at least they know and they can live with that one truth and have some shred of happiness from the event of your death, that at least you lived your day to the last and the fullest. That is powerful. Okay? I hope I gave a very strong message here, and I hope you guys genuinely take what I've said here. And I'll see you guys in the next video.